and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips...
Are we there yet?
Safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
It's official. The sale of the summer has arrived. Dell's Labor Day sale is happening right now with rare deals like savings of up to $300 on some of the latest and most innovative XPS and Alienware PCs yet with Intel Core processors. Plus, save on a curated selection of premium tech like Samsung TVs. All with complimentary shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL or visit Dell.com/Labor Day. Again, call 800-BUY-DELL to take advantage of unprecedented Labor Day tech deals.
Here at Gulf Coast Sports Minute, I'm JP. The First Tee is expanding its footprint to include talented young golfers from Baldwin County and Alabama. The board of directors of the Greater Pensacola Junior Golf Association announced the expansion of the nonprofit's operations in conjunction with its rebranding as the First Tee Gulf Coast on Friday. Previously known as the First Tee of Northwest Florida, the nonprofit organization has operated locally since 1990, aiming to teach life skills through golf while advancing accessibility to the game. In our recruiting spotlight this week, Terrell Brooks Yarborough for the Milton Panthers. This young man has a 3.9 GPA in the classroom and is one of the best all-around athletes you will find. Terrell has both speed and major power, a very strong and well-put-together back. Running a 4.5 in the 40, his speed is impressive. He has elite field vision and hits the holes without hesitation. His rare combination of power and speed make him one of the best-looking running backs you will see in 2020. That's your Gulf Coast Sports Minute. I'm JP.
The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Hey, what's up? Chad here from the Sports Tribe. Well, 2020 was off to a great start.
Salud.
UWF national title parades and Mardi Gras.
Come on, let the good time roll.
Coach O and the real Tiger King Joe Burrow winning a national title.
Go Tigers.
And the Blue Wahoo season about to start. But then Tom Brady, after 2 decades of success, decides to mess with history.
You are fake news. Go ahead.
And becomes a Buccaneer. Oh, what was that? Oh, COVID-19 happened. I'm sorry.
I can't take it no more.
And it was a little bit of a rough spring and summer.
It's something that won't go away.
But now the major sports are back. The bubbles are working. The league's in the bubble. Don't have your kids blow them. Some might see those as viral mucus balls coming at their house.
No more. No more. No more.
Scary, isn't it? And football will return.
Foosball.
Maybe not all of our favorite teams, but there will be football this fall.
Gotta keep our composure.
But we'd like to thank all of our listeners through these challenging times for staying with us as your hometown leader in sports, right here on ESPN Pensacola. Thank you, and stay safe, my friends.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
For your ridiculous facts, I'm JP. Michael Jordan was once one of the best high school pitchers in North Carolina. Jordan was recruited for his baseball abilities and had a 45-inning stretch of shutout pitching at one point, but elected to focus on basketball at North Carolina. I'd say things worked out for MJ. And you could take away Hank Aaron's 755 home runs and he still has more than 3,000 hits. Stats don't lie, that man was a monster. That's your ridiculous facts. I'm JP.
Hear ye, hear ye. I bringeth thee a message from... a message from the king and his new trumpeter, Stephen. The king wishes me to convey his favor to thine team and thine tailgate. Not yet. He invites thee to let the Bud Light flow forth. And he also wishes me to tell thee that he toasts thee. Waiteth until the end, Stephen! With game day's favorite light lager and the slogan of his kingdom... Oh! Dilly dilly! Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Pensacola's home for hometown sports. Your home to talk football with Coach K. Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. And Sports Call with Davis Allen. If you'd like to partner with ESPN Pensacola or become a sponsor, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola.
Welcome in to Talk Football with Coach K. JP here with you alongside former NFL head coach K. Stevenson on this Friday afternoon. Well, we've made it to the weekend yet again. Well, some of us have. Some of you still obviously have some few hours to go. Maybe you're working this weekend, whatever it is. Hey, look, football is coming back. We had South Alabama and Southern Miss play last night. Central Arkansas and UAB played last night. Starting to get a little normalcy in here, whatever that means anymore. So, hey, it's a positive sign. Hope you're doing well on this Friday afternoon. We have a ton to get to. Joe Theismann will be joining us on the show coming up at 12:15 here. Always good to hear from Joe Theismann, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Look, hopefully you're washing your hands, staying safe out there, doing what got us to this point as cases seem to be trending down, at least in our area. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but in our area. So with that being said, look, as we always start off our show, I want to continue to do it this way. Thank our first responders and healthcare workers. What these people do, putting themselves out there on the front lines each and every day, fantastic. It's just absolutely fantastic. There's no other words to put to it. And if you're one of those people, we thank you so much. We really do. Having friends and family on both sides of this, hearing stories, seeing what goes on, it's awesome to see the support they get from the community. And look, I know we have a lot of unrest going on in our country, and that's okay. You know what? People can have different views on things. There are evil people in this world, and it's okay not to like those people or agree with what they do. But we will say this. We have so many great police officers, firefighters, EMT personnel, nurses, doctors. I mean, above and beyond all of our first responders and healthcare workers and folks out there, we thank them so much. We appreciate them, and we support them. We do not support those that do wrong, but we support those folks that are out there protecting us and protecting our freedoms as well. Before we move on here, grocery store employees, truck drivers, all the essential workers, I'll make sure I get you guys in there because you're very important as well as we're getting back to somewhat, like I said, somewhat normalcy. Now, when you're going out and about, I know in Pensacola pretty much it's mandated. Please throw on a mask. Don't make it any tougher on these folks. They don't want to have to follow these protocols any more than you do, but it's in place for all of our protection. All right, this is not a political statement. I make this very clear. If you listen to this show, you know we try to keep politics out of this show. There's enough of that going on, period, even in sports now. So with that being said, look, like I said, we have a ton to get to today. We have a ton to talk about, Coach. How are you doing today, my friend, on this Friday afternoon?
Doing well. Good to be with you, JP. Good to be with the audience out there. Big goings on in football. Quite a bit going on now as they prepare for the season, and we don't have time to get to it all, but there have been scrimmages with each and every NFL team because they can't have preseason games, so they're having to create a scrimmage-type situation as near as possible, game-like. Also, with some of the colleges, they're having to do the same, and not a lot of word is getting out, and I don't blame them. There's not a whole heck of a lot of word. I've got some information, but it's sketchy. But anyway, we're glad to be with them, and I second your thanks each day for those people that you extend out to, JP, and we just have all the gratitude in the world for what they do.
Absolutely. And look, 6 days until the NFL opening game next Thursday with Houston and Kansas City, 8 days until Florida State takes on Georgia Tech, and 22 days until SEC football. We got a little bit of football last night, and I will be honest with you. It wasn't bad. I mean, for people, they can say what they want. Oh, well, that wasn't good football, a lot of mistakes. I thought, you know what, football is football at this point. Coach, when you look at this, now, obviously UAB in Central Arkansas was on ESPN3. Obviously, people in our area most likely paying attention to South Alabama and Southern Miss, which, by the way, the first time these teams have met, which is crazy to me because they're literally an hour pretty much apart. So an hour, hour and a half, whatever it may be. But, Coach, looking at South Alabama and Southern Miss, it's just good to get football back. But I will be honest with you, there's some good football players in that field. And for the Jags out in South Alabama, Steve Campbell, obviously from our area here, 2-10 last year, not very good. But I will be honest, this is not a bad looking team for South Alabama, and I like their quarterback.
Yeah, listen, I enjoyed the ball game. It was well played for the most part. You're always going to have some early season ragged play, but there wasn't much of it. It was well played, and two good football teams based on the division that they're in. But I was impressed with South Alabama. I thought they came on and did a good job.
Absolutely, and it's a win is a win. It's a bright spot for them, and it's a bright spot for all of college football as well. Let's make that very clear. By the way, coming up tomorrow, there is some games on ESPN and CBS Sports Network. So there you go. You've got, I believe, 7 games that will be either ESPN, CBS Sports, or ESPN3. By the way, Army takes on Middle Tennessee. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's 2 good teams there. But ESPN from 12 o'clock till 7 o'clock, you've got games going on. Just tune in. Hey, it doesn't. If you're like me, it doesn't matter who's playing. I'm going to watch. But there you go. You got that going on. Coach, some of the big news around the NFL. I know we got a lot to get to in a little bit of time here. The Washington football team released veteran Adrian Peterson. I think that surprised a lot of people, including himself. He said he had no idea this was coming. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But I will say, over 1,900 yards and 12 touchdowns the past couple seasons. He's rushed for 14,000 career yards. And look, people, no offense, I get it. He's rushed for a ton of yards. You have respect for the man, but you got to move on sometimes. But, Coach, I'm a little surprised here because now you're looking at a young group. Antonio Gibson, the young man out of Memphis, is coming in at running back. He's now there. He's RB1. Are you surprised by the move of the Washington football team to release Adrian Peterson after what he's done the past couple of years?
Well, it's tough. I know one thing. I'm glad I'm not in a position of having to make that cut and tell him about it. As long as he's played, as well as he's played, and what he's done for that football team over the last couple of years, it's sad. But I'm not surprised. He's a 35, 36-year-old running back. They're going to keep those younger kids and develop them. And I mean, how much time realistically would Adrian Peterson have left on that body to play in the National Football League? Now, he takes exceptionally good care of himself. He's always in good shape. He's strong. He does all that. So that mitigates some of the wear and tear on a body. But still, the speed is not always what it used to be, and ability to make a cut to avoid a tackle or avoid a hit. It's difficult. It's difficult. I'm not surprised that they decided to go younger, and I really don't think too many people are.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think this is a team that is moving forward. They're Ron Rivera, what he's been able to do, Jack Del Rio, his whole staff, they've done such a good job so far. Remember everything that's been going off the field. This is a team that's moving forward on the field, and I like the direction they're going in. Interested to see how the quarterback situation is going to work out this year, but they do have some good young players. And look, like you said, they're making room for the young guys. And for Adrian Peterson, by the way, he'll be just fine. He's already fielded a bunch of phone calls from other teams. So, once again, everybody's looking for a veteran running back for whatever situation. It's always good to have a guy like that. But Adrian Peterson is also a guy that, has run for 1,900 yards the past 2 seasons. So we'll see what happens. But, hey, all the best to him. But I agree. Look, I was a little surprised, but the more you look at it, not necessarily surprised in that direction that team is moving to. But, Coach, moving on here, Cam Newton was named the Patriots starting quarterback. And, look, that's not a big surprise. Jarrett Stidham has been dealing with an injury, obviously, and a lot of people didn't believe that Stidham was going to be truly in the running. I still believe once he gets back and gets healthy, that this may be a job that he can earn. Obviously, everybody knows how Belichick runs. But the team captain is what surprises me here. But, hey, Belichick has said he's been working hard. He's got the respect of the guys. Coach, when you look at Cam Newton and the Patriots, look, this is just a typical Bill Belichick. Hey, everybody writes him off. Do you believe that Cam Newton will have success under Belichick's system?
I think he'll have a certain amount of success because Belichick's going to make sure that football team is prepared, strategically prepared, which is going to give them a shot at winning any ball game they play in. That's going to help the quarterback, obviously. I'm not a Cam Newton fan. I know what happened going back quite a ways, so pretty hard to overcome that. So anyway, I think as far as New England is concerned, probably a prudent move on the part of Belichick. But we'll see. We'll just have to see how it turns out. This start of the season does not mean that this is the way it's going to be mid-season or end of the season. So let's see what happens.
I am 100% with you, Coach, on that. I agree. I think just because he's starting now, this is a team that I'm still skeptical of how he can, what level he can play. It's great. Guy looks good in practice. A lot of people look good in practice. What's going to happen when, he gets against the grind and start playing defenses again, start getting hit again, things like that. We'll see what happens when, their game become one-sided because he can't run as much? Can he run as much? There's so many questions that go involved with a guy like Cam Newton, and especially starting an offense for the first year, an offense that takes time to grasp. So we'll see. But, Coach, something surprising here. We talked about Jadeveon Clowney yesterday. It seems the Titans and the Seahawks were the main front runners there, the two teams that were really only interested. Well, reports came out that the Saints are sending an all-out blitz for Clowney's services. They're working to try to get him signed. They've got a little bit of cap space, not a ton of cap space to get the deal done. But, Coach, here's the thing. I will say this for Saints fans. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a Saints fan. But if I was talking to a couple of them, they don't really want this to happen because they know the type of player that Clowney is, even though the potential for him to be a star is fantastic. But this is a really good defensive front already. Now, when you look at Marcus Davenport and Cam Jordan over there on the defensive end positions, Sheldon Rankins as well. I mean, this is Marcus Davenport is a phenomenal star as well. Where's he going to play? I mean, he's not better than those guys. I will say that. Marcus Davenport and Cam Jordan, that's a vaunted front for that Saints team right there. But, Coach, when you look at Jadeveon Clowney, the Saints sending an all-out blitz to go get him, I mean, it adds depth, I guess, but good move or bad move, because my thing is what happens in the locker room when he's not. Because if he doesn't play a ton, obviously there's going to be some concern. So what's your thoughts on this?
Well, like you, I think there is a concern you better have about your locker room. Now, the Saints do have a well-disciplined, well-oiled organization. And they have a number of leaders on that football team, veteran leadership. So they probably have a good chance to quell anything that would happen in the locker room. But not that it couldn't happen. I mean, it certainly could. But I think what they're looking at, JP, is they're looking at depth inside. They certainly have the outside people that they need. They're going to play the defensive end or outside rush positions. But I think they're looking at Clowney as that inside guy who can jump around and give him some push inside. That has to be what they're looking at. I don't think he's a great run stopper, even though when you get somebody inside, if they're going to play there more than just passing downs, they got to be able to stop the run. So my guess is they're looking at inside pass rush help.
Yeah, that's it would have to be that. But hey, look, if you're a Saints fan, hey, interested to see how people feel about that. You can call or text, by the way, 850-623-1330. We're about to have Joe Theismann on, so if you want to call after we bring Joe Theismann on, let us know your thoughts. Or if you want to text, Like I said, 850-623-1330. Would love to hear what Saints fans think about this. Good, bad, what do you think? That's my thing. As of me personally, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm kind of hoping the Titans don't bring him in, but hey, he's a good player when he plays. That's all I'm going to say. I've got mixed feelings about him, but hey, for the big-time money he's talking about, $17, $18 million, I would rather go get some more value. But once again, it is what it is, and I have nothing to do with it. So with that being said, Coach, like we said, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Super Bowl winning Joe Theismann will join us right here on the show to talk everything football, always bringing some good insight, always fun to talk to. He is quite the character and quite the actor as well. So we'll get to all that and more when we come back right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Highway 29 in Car City.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dealing with battery problems? We've got you. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a free charge, we can help with that too. And if it's time for a new battery, we've got you covered. We're the only place you can find Duralast, the batteries more consumers choose. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination, where help is always in stock. Claims based on a proprietary consumer study and data from the MPD Group 2019.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Hey, what's up? Chad here from the Sports Drive. Well, we're into August, that first time that we start to feel the flow for football season.
Foosball.
Like getting ready to run out of the tunnel to a song like Enter Sandman. Might be a little different this year. Probably no smoke, social distance away from the people, as you might get cheered on by virtual fans.
You can do it!
But overall, we're excited, and we'll keep you posted with the latest updates from high school, college, and the NFL. Join myself, Chad Brilliante, and JP right here on the Sports Drive, 5 to 7 on ESPN Pensacola.
Hey, this is Jay Williams. You're listening to Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome back to Talk Football with Coach K. JP here with you alongside former NFL head coach Kay Stevenson on this Friday afternoon. Weekend's right around the corner. For those who've started your weekend, congratulations. You made it to another weekend in our COVID times. But, hey, look, we've got a special guest. Not going to waste any more time right here talking on my own. Look, Joe Theismann joins us. He's joined us before on the show, a great friend of yours, Coach, I know. He is one of the favorites. Let's just say what it is. Obviously, playing with the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL. Went on to play 12 seasons with the Washington Redskins, where he was a two-time Pro Bowler and helped the team to consecutive Super Bowl appearances, including beating the Dolphins there. He was inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame in 2003, been a sportscaster on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football. You see him all over ESPN as well as just about every sports station, bringing his insight on the game. By the way, quite the actor as well. And I just saw this, by the way. He has a book out. I didn't know this. He released a book, I believe it was in June, How to Be a Champion Every Day, 6 Timeless Keys to Success. So that's ordered on Amazon, by the way, Mr. Theismann. But, Coach, look, I've said plenty. I'm going to go ahead and send it over to you.
Yeah, we're just really, really appreciative that Joe took the time to join us and has done it before. You're quite a favorite over here, Joe. That's for sure. People look forward to you coming on and talking football.
Thanks, Kay. It's great to join you and JP. It's always fun to catch up with you.
Let me get right to the dirty work here. I've heard, of course, talking with some people who are supposedly on the inside or get certain information, but I hear certain things about what's going on in Washington with the Washington Football Club. Very difficult not to say the Redskins. But anyway, Joe, what do you hear and what do you think is going to be a final result? Because there's some pretty serious accusations out there and also quite a bit of movement by some people to maybe force a sale.
Well, Key, I just can't. I really have no knowledge of everything that's going on. I'm like you. I read the newspapers and I wait to see what's going to happen. I really focus on the football team, and I think they're an extremely young football team. I mean, you've got some tremendous talent on the defensive side, particularly in the defensive line. You've got, 5 number ones over the last couple of years, including Ryan Kerrigan, who's now going to put his hand on the ground. Reuben Foster's come back healthy. The news today of releasing Adrian Peterson just opens the door for more youth in that Washington football team. Your quarterback, your running backs, your tight ends. I mean, really, without Adrian there, it's probably their average age is probably 25 years old, and we both know that, Kay, that's you're dealing with young guys that have never experienced the situation in professional football. But I would say this: the way things are to this particular year, nobody has experienced anything like this. So even though you've got a bunch of rookies, you still have a bunch of players that are veterans that haven't and will not go through the same things that they've gone through for years. So it's a learning experience. But in every team, the quarterback is the one that's going to have to step up and get the job done. And Dwayne, I think, is ready. He's down 20 pounds. He looks like he moves around. I went out to practice the other day and watched it. It's a young team that has to count on a lot of young guys.
Yeah, they really are young, and I'm not surprised at all. We talked about earlier today about Adrian Peterson being released. There's certainly no surprise, even though I told JP I certainly would have hated to have been the one to tell him, because he's given them 2 outstanding years there and meant a lot, I think, to their football team. But,
Kay, the other thing too is what he adds is, it's a veteran leadership. He sets the tone. He's the first one. He's the first one in line when it comes to taking snaps, and I mean, he's just a consummate professional. I think the situation there is because it's such a young football team, and if you look at the Carolina Panthers as an example, they like backs that are able to do a lot of different things. Antonio Gibson out of Memphis is a rookie that I think they're counting on quite a bit. You've got different young backs that really not only have to run the football, but they're going to have to catch the football. And I think that's what Scott Turner wants to do. And again, you look at Carolina. They're somewhat of a tight end based offense, a little bit like New England in that regard, tight ends and backs out of the backfield and slot receivers. And Steven Sims, I think, is going to be a guy who has a chance to be really special in the slot. Terry McLaurin, the young wide receiver last year, is really something special. And now it's a question of finding the pieces around it. I think you've got a lot more questions on the offensive side of the ball. How well will the offensive line perform? You've got a young quarterback that's only played 7 games. You've got rookies in the backfield. You've got a tight end that's just come over. So now all of a sudden, you have to look at the defensive side and say, you guys are going to have to carry it. And the other thing, too, without any preseason games, and Kay, you know this, preseason games are important because you get yourself in condition, you get into the habits of what you need to do when it comes to being able to go through the rigors of a practice, recover from being beat up a little bit. These guys have hardly hit at all. So I'm looking at the first 3 games of the regular season as, to me, those 3 games are like preseason games. There's conditioning. I think you're going to see a lot of wide receivers wind up probably with, maybe a pull here, a pull there, because they haven't had a chance to run like they would in camp.
I agree with you. I certainly do. And it's most valuable to get the evaluation of your young kids. All these young kids coming into the league this year, it's quite a disadvantage not having the preseason games.
I agree 100%. And free agents that have come over too. I mean, how much can you evaluate somebody on a Zoom call or a Skype? It's so difficult. I think that most of the rosters for every NFL team were set a long time ago. You're going to keep your 1s and 2s probably, and that's what you're looking at. And so now, who's going to be able to make the football team? They will increase. I think they're going to increase the practice squad, which will help. And then, of course, you have that big, giant elephant in the room called the pandemic that you don't know when it may strike your ball club.
But yeah, I think it would be extremely wise to have a much larger practice squad, if you want to call them that, whatever, but have people in reserve so that they can plug and play if it becomes necessary.
I agree.
I think that's natural.
I agree.
Yeah. In fact, I think a couple of coaches have talked about quarantining a quarterback, and I don't think that's a bad idea, because if your quarterback room is affected, you've got to have somebody that you got a little confidence in, who's familiar with your system, come in, and you're going to put a running back or a receiver quarterback, and you're out to lunch.
Yeah, and what they've done basically, I think, in different teams is you don't have all 3 quarterbacks in the room at the same time. I mean, I know the configuration at Washington's practice facility, some of the offices that were used for executives and for marketing and different parts of the team have basically been converted to rooms where you can have meetings. I mean, you have smaller groups, you have social distancing, and that's another thing. Anybody that's listening, wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance. I mean, we got to this point because people were smart. Now it's not the time to all of a sudden, think that everything is okay. We still have a long road ahead of us, and so far basketball, I think, has done a great job. Baseball, it looks like the incidences are going down. Hockey is the same way, and football benefited from the fact that they were the 4th big sport to be able to start after viewing what everybody else has done.
Well, that's true, but the protocols they put in place are just outstanding. The number of positive cases, JP's got the stats on that. I think they go back to maybe the end of July, 1st of August, through the end of August. And it doesn't even register on the radar screen. It's less than 0.5%. They're really doing a good job with staying with the protocols and keeping this virus at bay.
And the players are done. The players, you have to give the players, the coaches, everybody. You have to give them a lot of credit for being disciplined in what they're doing. I mean, it's it's important. It's our profession. It's what we did. But I have a question for you, Kay. I'm curious. How important were preseason games to you as a coach?
I'll tell you, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I think I think certainly going back to when we used to have 6, that was much too much. You don't need 6 preseason games. 4, I think you could get by with 2, but not less than 2. But I think it's extremely valuable if they would allow, say, 2 preseason games with the ability to work out with another team the week of a preseason game, so you can get some evaluation of people going against other people. But I do think that's extremely valuable. And what you say is right, Joe. There's a football conditioning that goes beyond cardiovascular and weights and strength and all that you got to have. But you got to get used to the hitting. You got to be bounced around a little bit to make it happen.
I agree.
Really a football.
Yeah,
it's a big.
See, I just think I know. I look at the Washington football team. The last 3, for sure, 3 maybe 4 years, in the last preseason game, someone made the football team. Whether it's a special team player, whether it was a wide receiver, whomever it might be. But that game became very valuable to that one particular individual because the starters aren't going to play in it; they don't. So but there's that chance to be able to show the coach to put something on film that basically says "keep me." And so this is what this group of young people have a chance to deal with.
Well, what about Hall of Famer Terrell Davis at Denver? Without preseason games, he would not have made that football team. And he's a Hall of Famer. But we could go on and on and on. There are great examples all over. But I think the biggest thing is lack of evaluation. But, Joe, I need to ask you, I need to put you on the spot a little bit. Of course, there's a lot of interest in this division of the NFL here with New Orleans, Tampa Bay, what's going on there, Atlanta, and Carolina. How do you see that division shaping up?
Well, I think I still think you have to look at the New Orleans Saints as the team to beat in the division. Tampa Bay with Tom certainly is going to be a different kind of a football team. I mean, Jameis last year accounted for 35 turnovers, 5 fumbles, and 30 interceptions. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that out of Tom Brady. Their wide receiving core is probably as good as any in football. Their defense is really – nobody's talked about how good their defense really is. I mean, that to me is a tremendous factor. And with Gronk back down there in Tampa, a familiar face for Tom, it makes a world of difference. I think Carolina is going to go through a growing period with Teddy. I think Atlanta is a team that probably you could say one of those unknown entities in football. I mean, they could play really well. Defensively, they've never been big, so it's all about speed. But right now, I would say, and we're going to find out in a hurry. New Orleans and Tampa play in the opener, so we'll get an idea what's going on in Tampa. But right now, I would look at New Orleans as a team with experience. And again, those are the ones I think that are going to get out of the gate fairly well. And then Atlanta, again, is like, who are they? How good are they going to be able to play? That to me is good. That would be the order I would I would go New Orleans, Tampa, Atlanta, and Carolina would be the way I would rank them in the division.
Right. Well, I think most people would. I would put Tampa there. I think there's something magic going on in Tampa, Joe. I think they may end up with the same records. Tampa and New Orleans, they both in the playoffs. But
I think so too. I agree with you. I really do. And I mean, you can't lose sight of the fact. I mean, Tom Brady has been so special. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in this game, and all of a sudden he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and coincidentally, the Super Bowl was played in Tampa this year. So again, Tom's put so many different types of records up with the 6 championships and everything else. It would be ironic if there was a 7th with an opportunity in Tampa for the Bucs to be in it. I mean, it would just be one more I think, trophy on his mantle, but this one would be special.
Plus, there's so many reasons for him. You know, he's a guy that lives on reasons to do better, competitiveness that he's one of the best at. And
he's never satisfied. He's a type of a player who's never satisfied with yesterday's performance, and I think that's really it's one of the things I talk about in the book is being able to strive to be the best every day. You need goals. You have to take the right kind of attitude. We're all a part of a team. I mean, so many of us, if you're in a family, it's a team. If you're in business, you're on a team. If you're in sports, you're on a team. And those are the things that, you work hard to try and be able to accomplish. And then getting motivated. I mean, how do you get yourself going? And with all the craziness that's going on, I think that's one of the things that people struggle with is how do I get motivated to do something? And I think you have to put variety in your life. You need to focus on the things and take care of them. But it's such an amazing time we're living through. I don't think any of us ever could have imagined anything like this.
No, I agree. There's an X factor in Washington. I think it could be something extremely valuable to that Washington football team, and that's Jack Del Rio over there on defense. With that talent, they've got a lot of talent, and I think he's going to give them another edge, which is and the other X factor that not a lot of people are looking at is what they've assembled in Indianapolis with the Colts.
That's right. I mean, that could be the surprise. That could be the surprise team. I mean, they were close a year ago, and all of a sudden now you're looking at a team that got better and better. Phillip is, it just depends on how long Phillip's arm's going to hold up. But every time you look at Phillip Rivers and say, well, he's not being able to do this, he manages to again press forward and do something special. I think he's a ball club. And, of course, talking about Jack, with Ron Rivera being diagnosed with lymphoma, if Jack does have to take over, you have someone who's in a very experienced position to be able to go out and do the things that he needs to do.
Absolutely true. Well, Joe, listen, I promised you I wouldn't keep you. I've kept you longer than we intended to keep you, but
always enjoy visiting. It's always fun to catch up with you.
The whole hour. We could keep you on the whole hour, but we won't do that. Thanks so much, Joe, and we'll look forward to maybe getting into the seasons and chatting again with you.
Look forward to catching up with you. JP, take care of yourself, and everybody listening, the book's available on Amazon, and please stay safe.
Already got it on order, Joe. Don't you worry.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
And that's Joe Theismann right there, and I actually do have it on order. That's a fact. I saw that on there, and I was like, I didn't know he released a new book. So, hey, I'm always looking for tips, especially from quarterbacks. That's why I go to you, Coach. I ask you tips on life as well. See, I go to NFL quarterbacks. I know where my bread is buttered. I know where I can get better, so I reach out to those that have seen more and experienced more. So anyway, all that being aside, Coach, a great interview with Joe Theismann right there. Always some great insight and a lot of fun to talk to when we talk about it. But once again, he reiterated the same exact thing that you had just said about Adrian Peterson coming back. This team is moving towards – they got a young football team, and although Adrian Peterson is a absolute professional, this team is trying to take that next step. Now, once again, off-the-field stuff is off-the-field stuff. We're not going to talk about that at the moment. But this is a team that seems to be moving in the right direction, and you just heard Joe Theismann say the exact same thing. So with that being said, I guess we're going to go to a break. When we come back here, we're going to talk about, we talked about the AFC, the season projections here from Sports Illustrated. Some of them you agree with, some of them you don't. As always, it's okay. They are here for us to talk about and critique. We'll talk about the NFC, starting with the NFC East when we come back right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
Week 1 of the football season is about to kick off, and DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action with 2 shots at a $1 million top prize. Making it rain with DraftKings is easy. Draft your team, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, and so much more. Plus, DraftKings is giving away a share of up to $100 million in prizes to all users who enter their free football survivor pool. Just sign up for DraftKings, enter their survivor pool, and you'll instantly get a share of up to $100 million in giveaways. Download the top-rated DraftKings app and use code GREENIE to get a free shot at $1 million top prize. And for a limited time, get your share of $100 million in prizes once you enter DraftKings' free survivor pool. That's code GREENIE. Only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Other terms and conditions and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Your voice, your vote. In our democracy, they matter and make our community and our country stronger. So make yours count. Get registered. Learn the issues. Know the candidates. And vote by or on November 3rd. Visit vote411.org for registration and election information. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hurricane season is upon us, and although we aim to bring you the latest news in sports, we're committed to bringing the Pensacola community the latest updates and information during the 2020 hurricane season. In collaboration with our sister stations, News Radio 92.3, AM 1620, and Cat Country 98.7, stay up to date with breaking weather news and updates on the biggest storms impacting Northwest Florida by checking our Facebook pages at Cat Country 98.7, News Radio 92.3, and ESPN Pensacola.
Hey, this is Chad Brilliante from the Afternoon Sports Drive, and you're listening to Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome back to Talk Football with Coach K. JP here with you alongside former NFL head coach Kay Stevenson on this Friday afternoon. If your weekend's already started, congratulations. You made it to another weekend. If not, hang in there. You'll be there soon, unless you got to work this weekend. That stinks. But it is what it is. We're talking some football with you. Joe Theismann, appreciate him coming on the show as always. Always fun to talk to him. By the way, it's his whole outlook on sports is so good to me when I listen to him. Brings a ton of insight. I love it. I love talking to him every time. But by the way, before we move on here, going to talk about the record projections here from Sports Illustrated in the NFL. We talked about the AFC. I do want to mention this. A couple breaking reports. Now, breaking is whatever it is to you. A lot of people around here, this is not breaking, but the Pac-12 is eyeing a winter season. As Commissioner Larry Scott said, I have got a high degree of confidence we'll be playing in January. It's possible we could play sooner. So whether that's true or not, I don't think a lot of people care at this point. But the Tennessee Titans has an offer out to Jadeveon Clowney. Mike Vrabel came out and confirmed that they have already made an offer, but a few teams are still interested, so they're waiting to hear back. There you go. That's the latest news that has just been released. So I'm just sending it on your guys' way. But, Coach, starting in the NFC East. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, we talked about breaking the divisions down a few days ago. The Philadelphia Eagles are very intriguing, but can they stay healthy? I think that's the big question mark. The Dallas Cowboys look ramped up and ready to go on offense, but I think good question mark is the defense. I mean, on offense, we know that they're going to be good. can that defense, how much can it withstand? It wasn't a bad defense last year. Can Dak get over the hump, by the way, against playoff teams that are very good? I mean, let's just call it what it is. He's 1-6 last year against playoff teams. It's not going to cut it. So with that being said, the New York Giants and then the Washington football team, but the Philadelphia Eagles 11-5 is what they believe they will be. The Dallas Cowboys 9-7, the New York Giants 5-11, and the Washington football team 3-13. Coach, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting division. I thought we kind of at least got into some of this the other day, but I like the only thing that scares me is what you alluded to, and that is the injury bug. Philadelphia has lost the entire left side of their offensive line. The left guard is all pro, and their left tackle. Now, that's a huge problem going into the season. But I still like Philadelphia. I like the overall talent that they. I think they really helped themselves in the off season. They've got a lot of the holes that are that they had last year. They've got filled that they can keep people healthy. But I like Philadelphia. I like the quarterback, and that's the big thing. You got to have a productive quarterback, and I like the quarterback. I like their tight ends. I like the speed they've added to their football team and their running back situation. Defensively, they're going to play well defensively. They're a good defensive football team. So I like them. I think that Dallas is going to be right there with them. Both may end up with the same record. I don't know, but close to it. And then I think the Giants are going to be a much improved football team. I really do. I think Philadelphia may end up winning 10 or 11 games. Dallas 9, 10, or 11, somewhere in there, very similar to Philadelphia. And I think the Giants may come on and win 8 or 9 football games this fall. I really do. I like what they're doing there. Barkley is one of the top backs to ever come into the league. That, according to Bill Polian. I like Jones, their quarterback. I think he's going to be an outstanding quarterback. So, and they've got their offensive line. They seem to have filled in a few holes defensively. We'll see. That's their Achilles heel. If they can't stop people, akin to what they've been doing in the past, they're in trouble. And then, of course, Washington's going to be good defensively, but I just don't think they have the horses yet to get much beyond that. So they'd be lucky if they win 4 or 5 ball games, and they may do that.
Coach, the NFC North, very intriguing this year. Now, I personally have picked the Vikings to win that division. I think the Vikings got a lot better this offseason. The Packers, I think this is kind of pretty much still the same team, but a lot of unrest there. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a professional. He's going to go out and play, but they didn't get him any help at the wide receiver position, and that caused very costly, because this is a good defense they have, by the way. But they have the Green Bay Packers 10-6, the Minnesota Vikings 8-8, the Chicago Bears 6-10, and the Detroit Lions 4-12. What do you think, Coach?
I agree with you. I think you can flip that. I think Minnesota. I think Green Bay was very fortunate last year. I think they won like 9 or 10 ball games by 4 points or less. I don't know if that's going to hold up this year, and they certainly have not added any talent and depth to that offensive football team for Rodgers. Some people say that they look a little better defensively. We'll find out early enough. But if they can't keep the ball and put points on the board offensively, they're going to be in trouble in that division. So I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins maybe 11 ball games here. Green Bay maybe wins 8 or 9. And then, the one that I'm kind of undecided about I think if Stafford can stay well in Chicago may be quite a bit better this year. They're going to be better than the projected three wins. I think they'll probably win 5 or 6 ball games, and then we'll have to see what they're going to do with between Chicago and Detroit. That's going to be the big question right there.
Yeah, it will be. I hope Stafford can stay healthy. Look, Matt Patricia needs to have a good season. Detroit fans need to have a good season as well. Not a bad football team overall. They just haven't been able to figure it out and been bit by the injury bug. But, yeah, Minnesota Vikings, I would agree with you. The Bears, they got to figure out their quarterback situation as well before that defense runs out. That's a really good defense. But, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the NFC South. In that division, obviously, with the Saints, the Bucks, the Falcons, and the Panthers, and what their projections are according to Sports Illustrated. All that and more when we come back right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck, Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro Shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Highway 29 in Car City.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. Ali, CEO of Walls Need Love, struggled to find someone for his wallpaper company. So he turned to ZipRecruiter, and today you can try that for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. He quickly found a great match for the role. Plus, she applied within a few days after he posted the job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny.
The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome back to Talk Football with Coach K. JP here with you alongside former NFL head coach Kay Stevenson on this Friday afternoon. Appreciate you guys joining us. Final segment here. Got a few minutes left. Coach, the NFC South, obviously we've been talking about it quite a bit. We just talked about it with Joe Theismann as well. They have the New Orleans Saints 14-2, the Atlanta Falcons 10-6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 10-6, and the Carolina Panthers 3-13. I have a feeling you may want to change that, Coach.
Yeah, and I have all the respect in the world for New Orleans and what they're all saying, and I can understand why they would be looked upon as the favorite team in that division. Continuity, momentum, talent level, all the things that we look at, coaching, quarterback, they've got it all. I just don't know that they've got as much going for them right now. I think I called it magic with Joe, man. I think he understood what I was talking about. Sometimes it's like a plane is lit and things happen that you never anticipated. That's what I see going on in Tampa right now. Tremendous amount of talent. The bulletin board minutia, the bulletin board material is out the window. It is a tremendous amount for Brady and for a number of other people on that football team. They can smell it right now. They know they've got a chance. I'm going to put Tampa Bay at the top of the division. I think Tampa's going to win. Maybe either 10, 11, or 12, and end up with, depending on how tight the division is, there's there's going to be some losses in that division. So I think New Orleans will be right there near them, very close to them. Probably both of them make the playoffs. Atlanta's going to be in their third, and they're going to be dangerous because of that offense. Gosh, they've got a good offense, but I just don't think they can do it defensively and put a whole team together to win that division. I just don't see it at this point. And then, of course, Carolina's going to be fighting to get something established as a football team that they can build on.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's Coach, I know we got a couple minutes left here. I'm going to jump to the NFC West real quick. They have the Seahawks 12-4, the Rams 11-5, the Cardinals 9-7, and the 49ers 8-8. All right, I've lost all respect. Well, what's your thoughts on this, Coach?
Just reverse it. 49ers, I have never seen a team or a quarterback in particular that has received as little respect as Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not going to get into it. I could go on for 30 minutes about some of the down in the weeds here. But listen, San Francisco is a good football team. Got outstanding defense. They're still going to be good. Garoppolo will have a good year. They're going to. I think I would give them the edge. Maybe Seattle second. Los Angeles third. The Rams. And then, of course, Phoenix, Arizona Cardinals then would bring up the rear in the division, but they'll be good. That's a good, strong division. A lot of good football teams out there.
Yeah, I agree. Coach, when you look at this Cardinals team, by the way, it seems that they're the trendiest team right now in the NFL. Are you buying that this team – I know we talked about the division there. You just put them last in the division, but do you believe – would you be surprised if this was a team that made the playoffs this year?
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think they will, but I would not be totally surprised or certainly not shocked if they made it. Listen, they picked up they've got some talented players. They picked up some outstanding football players, in particular the draft pick Simmons. Is going to be an all-pro, maybe his rookie year. They've increased the speed offensively on their football team. They're a good football team. There's no doubt about it. And they're going to be better, but I just don't see them overtaking 49ers or Rams this year in that or Seattle in that division.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with that. It's a team that's on the move. Once again, Isaiah Simmons, we'll see how they utilize him because he can play multiple positions, and he is an absolute stud. That's all we're going to say. But, look, our time is running thin here. We got a couple seconds left. Like I said, look, tomorrow College Game Day will be on. There'll be some college football games all day long on ESPN from 12 o'clock on. You can also catch Army and Middle Tennessee State. That's the game I'll be watching at 12:30 on CBS Sports. But, look, Coach, we run out of time. Obviously, there's plenty more things we could have talked about, but we appreciate Joe Theismann coming on. But, Coach, it's been a pleasure as usual, my friend.
You bet. We look forward to Monday. Even though it's a holiday, we're going to be on. And we'll look forward to everybody enjoying the weekend as well. Be safe.
Absolutely. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate you, Coach. Everybody stay safe. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll be back Monday talking some football with you.
1FM, Pensacola's home for hometown sports. Your home to talk football with Coach K. Sports Drive with Chad Brillante and Sports Call with Davis Allen. If you'd like to partner with ESPN Pensacola or become a sponsor, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
This is the Max Kellerman Show. Max Kellerman Show on ESPN Radio.
Yes, the Max Kellerman Show on ESPN Radio, ESPN News, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80, and on your smart speaker. You can reach us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Max Kellerman Show is presented by Progressive Insurance. Before I even get to Straight Talk, let me tell you something. Here's some Straight Talk. Brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless.